Good evening. Um, I'm not using, I don't have PowerPoint on my desktop, so I was unable to get the recording function to work. So I'm using third-party software. That's okay. Um, my name is Maghami. I will be exploring the role of emotion and motivation in the panic disorders today. So I want to shed light on a condition that affects millions, but often remains misunderstood. Panic disorder is a it's an anxiety disorder that's characterized by recurrent, unpredictable panic attacks. These episodes bring overwhelming fear, heart palpitations, shortness of breath, dizziness, and chest pain. Um, like imagine you're feeling like you're in mortal danger, even when there's no real threat, and you're living in constant fear of when the next attack might occur. And for many, that's just daily life with this condition. So the impact of panic disorder goes beyond the attacks themselves. It seeps into every aspect of life, causing people to avoid places or situations that might trigger panic, leading to isolation, reduced quality of life, and even depression. So to better understand and treat panic disorder, I think it's best that we understand the role of two critical factors, which are emotion and motivation. So at its core, panic disorder is a struggle with emotion dysregulation. People with panic disorder often misinterpret normal bodily sensations, like a racing heart, as catastrophic. And this fear activates the body's fight or flight system, which I'll get to later, creating a vicious cycle of heightened fear and physiological arousal. For example, a slight shortness of breath might be interpreted as the onset of a heart attack, triggering a full-blown panic episode. And this response stems from an overactive sympathetic nervous system, which controls our fight or flight reactions. Typically, the parasympathetic system, our body's calming mechanism, steps in to restore balance. But in panic disorder, this balance is disrupted, leaving individuals stuck in a state of hyper arousal or heightened panic responses. Hormonal imbalances, such as elevated cortisol levels during stress, also further exacerbate the condition. So, understanding these physiological processes is crucial because by addressing the body's misfiring alarms, we can begin to break down the cycle of fear and panic. Now, the fight, flight, and freeze response is a natural survival mechanism, but in panic disorder, it becomes dysregulated. It triggers intense reactions to even harmless stimuli. Symptoms like heart palpitations, hyperventilation, and dissociation can leave individuals feeling paralyzed and even helpless. So this response fuels avoidance behaviors, as people want to steer clear of situations linked to past attacks, ones that they associate with past attacks, which only reinforces the panic cycle. And so addressing the response is key, I believe, to breaking the cycle and helping individuals regain control over their lives. Many people with panic disorder, they will avoid situations, like I said earlier, with previous panic attacks. That's a coping mechanism that seems helpful in the short term, but it reinforces the disorder over time. And it's sad because they're not only limiting life experiences, but also makes treatment more challenging. So motivational barriers also impact therapy adherence. For example, past unsuccessful treatments or lack of belief in recovery can lead to an ambivalence about seeking help. And addressing these barriers is also critical to breaking the cycle of avoidance and fear. We have several different types of causes of panic disorder. It doesn't just arise in a vacuum. It often results from a combination of genetic, biological, psychological, environmental factors. So a family history of anxiety, childhood trauma, chronic stress, all increase vulnerability for this condition. Neurobiological factors such as an overactive amygdala, which is the brain's fear center, um, play a significant role as well. It's also PD is also PD. Panic disorder is also frequently accompanied by other conditions like depression, substance abuse disorders, and medical issues such as asthma or thyroid dysfunction. These comorbidities complicate diagnosis and treatment, and I believe it underscores the need for more holistic and individualized care. So there are several different types of evidence-based treatments. Um, Unfortunately, we have effective ones for panic disorder that address both emotional and motivational challenges. So CBT is a cornerstone, cognitive behavioral therapy. It helps. I'm sorry, I'm going on pharmacological ones first. There we go. CBT therapy is the cornerstone. It helps individuals reframe catastrophic thoughts and gradually confront feared situations through exposure therapy. So ACT, acceptance and commitment therapy, often offers another promising approach. Instead of avoiding discomfort, acceptance and commitment therapy encourages individuals to accept their emotions and commit to actions aligned with their values, like reconnecting with loved ones and pursuing meaningful goals. If I can go back here, medications such as SSRIs or SNRIs can also help by regulating serotonin and neuroepinephrine levels. However, medication should be complemented by lifestyle changes, including regular exercise, healthy diet, and adequate sleep, all which support the overall emotional and physical well-being and also probably maximize the efficacy of the medication. Lastly, family and social support. Treatment isn't a one-size-fits-all methodology. Like cultural and personal factors also influence how people experience and manage panic disorder. So, for instance, in some communities, mental health stigma may prevent individuals from seeking help, and so addressing these barriers requires some culturally sensitive approaches and interventions tailored to various people's needs. Motivational interviewing, which is a great technique for that fosters intrinsic motivation, can also be quite valuable. By exploring a person's goal and ambivalence, therapists can help build the confidence to engage with treatment. So, should have gone on that one, but yeah, these holistic coping strategies, motivational interviewing, as I went over. In conclusion, integrating the motivation in panic disorder treatment. Panic disorder is a complex interplay of physiological, emotional, and motivational factors. But by understanding all these different sides and dynamics, we can offer more effective treatments and empower individuals to regain control of their lives. So whether through CBT or ACT, medication, or culturally sensitive care, the goal is pretty much always the same, which is to help those with panic disorder move beyond fear and rediscover a sense of safety and purpose. Thank you.